In the vast universe of storytelling, there exists a unique space where tales not only entertain but lull the mind into a peaceful state. Sleepy Voyages beckons its listeners into this realm, a place where the worries of the day fade away, replaced by intricate narratives, each tale carefully crafted not just to share a story, but to guide the mind to a restful destination. Tonight, the waves of this voyage will carry us across the rolling hills of the English countryside, through lavish ballrooms, and into the depths of human emotion. It's a journey that, while meant to soothe, also seeks to illuminate the intricate pathways of the human heart. For centuries, stories have been our most trusted companions in the quest for understanding, a mirror to our souls and a window into worlds unknown. And here, on this very platform, they take on an even more enchanting role, casting a gentle spell of relaxation over all who listen. Every episode is an invitation to leave behind the familiar and step into narratives that span time and emotion. The soft cadence of each word, the intricate weave of each plot, is designed to create a tapestry of tranquility. This experience is not just about tales told, but the very essence of storytelling, its power to heal, to inspire, and to lull. The heartbeats of the characters, their joys, their sorrows, and their discoveries will become the rhythm to which you drift into slumber. So let the anxieties of the day melt away. Prepare to embark on another enchanting journey with Sleepy Voyages. Before we tuck you in tonight, Voyagers of the Night Sky, we have a small but crucial request. As your eyelids grow heavy and the soothing tones of Sleepy Voyages guide you to the realm of dreams, remember the peace, serenity, and comfort that we bring to you every night, just as a lighthouse guides lost ships. In the darkness, your reviews help other restless dreamers find their way to us. By leaving a review and sharing your thoughts on your experience, you are reaching out to other insomniacs lost in the night, guiding them towards restful sleep. Take a moment before you drift away to click on the Leave a Review button on your podcast app. Help us extend our galaxy of tranquility to all those who seek the solace of sound sleep. And once you've done that, feel free to slip back under the covers of our sleep stories, ready to be whisked away on another sleepy voyage. Remember, your stars light the way for others. Every review, every rating helps us create a bigger, more beautiful universe of peace and rest. The quaint village of Hunsford in the parish of Kent was rife with unexpected encounters and revelations. The air seemed heavier with tension and unsaid words as each moment passed. It's not every day that one's convictions are challenged and truths are laid bare in such an unceremonious fashion. Our protagonists, Elizabeth and Darcy, were at a crossroads, their paths intersecting at the most unexpected juncture. Rosings Park, with its looming presence and grandeur, became the silent witness to confrontations and confrontations. Elizabeth, with her fiery spirit and astute observations, was beginning to see beyond the veneer, unravelling the many layers that shrouded Mr. Darcy. On the other hand, was grappling with his own prejudices and the dawning realization of his true feelings. Both were caught in a tempest of emotions, each wave revealing deeper truths about themselves and each other. For Elizabeth, the revelations about Wickham and Darcy's unintended interference in her sister's love life had been a hard pill to swallow. She felt caught between her loyalty to her family and the growing understanding of Darcy's character, and Darcy, finding himself vulnerable, had laid his feelings bare, navigating the tumultuous waters of pride and genuine affection. Their interactions, though intense, were steeped in raw emotion, giving a glimpse into the human nature of making snap judgments and the journey to find understanding. It reminds us that our perceptions are often coloured by our own biases, and sometimes taking a step back provides clarity. In this dance of Pride and Prejudice, both characters were not just discovering the depths of their feelings for each other, but also embarking on a journey of self-reflection. It serves as a reminder of how intertwined the paths of love and self-discovery truly are. For it's not just about understanding another, but also delving deep within, confronting our own shadows and emerging with a clearer understanding of our own self. In the heart of Kent, amidst the grandeur of Rosings and the simplicity of Hunsford, two souls were unknowingly charting a course towards understanding and love. During one of her frequent walks, she found herself at odds with the very last person she expected to meet so privately. Mr. Fitzwilliam Darcy. Under the soft glow of the afternoon sun, he approached her, a look of deep contemplation etched upon his face. Each step he took was deliberate, filled with a silent intensity that Elizabeth couldn't help Before she could discern the purpose of this unexpected encounter, Darcy, with all the grace and propriety befitting a gentleman of his stature, began to speak. Words flowed, filled with passion and vulnerability. He confessed his admiration, his love for her, in words that seemed so contradictory to the image Elizabeth held of him. But the confession was not just a testament of love. It was tinged with shades of his pride and societal preconceptions as he spoke of his battles against his feelings due to the differences in their social standings. Elizabeth, ever the beacon of resilience and wit, was not one to remain silent. Her response was swift, charged with emotions from their previous interactions. She challenged him on his actions, his decisions, particularly about separating Jane and Mr. Bingley. The air grew thick with tension as accusations flew. The verdant lawns of Rosings witnessed a confrontation, not of anger, but of two souls trying to find truth amidst a web of misunderstandings. Darcy, often perceived as the epitome of pride, was humbled, forced to reflect upon his actions and the prejudices he had carried. Elizabeth, too, was presented with revelations, moments that would push her to introspection. In the days that followed, the confrontation, raw and revealing, was a turning point in their journey. It was a dance of words, emotions, and revelations, one that would pave the way for the transformative power of understanding. In the quiet seclusion of his private chambers, Mr. Darcy took pen to paper. The weight of the unfolding events pressed heavily upon him, leading him to find solace in the written word. Every stroke of the quill was a testament to his deep-seated emotions, a canvas of raw feelings and unspoken truths. The letter, addressed to Elizabeth, was to be a catharsis. Pemberley, with its sprawling landscapes, echoed the vastness of his sentiments. In it, he recounted the history between himself and Mr. Wickham. The latter, having grown up alongside Darcy, had chosen a path of deceit and duplicity. Darcy revealed the true nature of Wickham's character, dispelling the charming facade that had so deceived Meryton. He detailed Wickham's ill intentions towards his younger sister, Georgiana, intentions that were thwarted but left deep scars on the Darcy family. Not only had Wickham gambled away his inheritance, but had tried to elope with young Georgiana for her sizable dowry. The words flowed, giving voice to the silence that had created such misunderstandings between him and Elizabeth. The pen also danced over the topic of Jane and Bingley. He admitted to influencing Bingley against the match, believing Jane's affections to be insincere. This confession was not a matter of pride, but an attempt at transparency, an effort to mend the gaps that had widened between two souls. The paper absorbed all his justifications, his regrets, and his silent plea for understanding. By the end, the letter wasn't just a set of explanations. It was a mirror into Darcy's soul, a vulnerable display of a man grappling with his own flaws while seeking redemption in the eyes of the one he cherished. This letter was to become the turning point, pivot on which future understandings would rest. In the quiet sanctum of her room, Elizabeth Bennet found herself alone with the words penned by Mr. Darcy. It was not just a letter, but a mirror held up to her very soul. Every line she read made her confront the biases she had unknowingly harbored. She had been so certain of her judgments, so assured in her beliefs about Darcy's character. Yet here in black and white were truths she had never considered. She pondered upon how she had been swift to judge, guided more by her prejudices than clear thought. In Wickham's charming tales, she had found a villain in Darcy, but the letter shed light on Wickham's true nature, his deceit and his recklessness. It spoke of Darcy's genuine concerns, his protective nature, and the heavy burden he felt for his sister's well-being. Reading the words, she felt a profound shift, like tectonic plates of her understanding rearranging. It was a humbling experience, this realization that she might have been the one in error. She questioned how often she might have done this in her life, misjudging situations or people based on incomplete information. The letter became more than just an account of events. It became a catalyst for her inner transformation. There was an undeniable sting of regret for not having seen past her own prejudices. Yet there was also gratitude, a sense of thankfulness that she had been given a chance to see the truth, to know oneself deeply, warts and all, is a journey few embark upon willingly. But in that moment, Elizabeth took her first brave steps into self-awareness. It was a journey she knew she had to undertake, not just for her sake, but for the possibility of true understanding and love in her life. In introspection, she found growth, and in growth, the promise of a richer, more fulfilling life ahead. Summer days have a charm of their own. Elizabeth, accompanied by her beloved aunt and Uncle Gardiner, set out on their journey to Derbyshire. The trio embraced the joys of travelling through the English countryside, as every meadow and hillock unfolded a different story. The air felt fresher, filled with the delicate scent of wildflowers, and the occasional trill of a lark added to the day's serenity. Derbyshire, with its rolling hills, clear brooks, and ancient stone bridges, held an allure that was impossible to resist. Each bend in the road seemed to whisper tales of yore, and every village they passed through spoke of simple joys. The gardeners, seasoned travellers that they were, shared stories of their previous visits, painting pictures with their words that added layers to Elizabeth's anticipation. Yet there was one destination that garnered more excitement than the rest: the illustrious Pemberley estate, renowned far and wide, not just for its grandeur, but for the history it encapsulated. Elizabeth's emotions were a mix of excitement and trepidation. Pemberley was, after all, Mr. Darcy's residence. Would they encounter him? And if so, in what manner? However, she decided to push those thoughts aside. This was a journey to appreciate nature, history. It was a chance to immerse herself in the world outside of Meryton and its gossip. For now, the road ahead beckoned, and with the gardeners by her side, Elizabeth felt ready to uncover the charms of Derbyshire, with Pemberley waiting on the horizon. Amidst the gentle undulations of Derbyshire's landscape, Pemberley stood, an embodiment of regal elegance and timeless beauty. The grand facade of the house, with its neatly arranged windows and ornate decorations, seemed to reflect the warmth of centuries past. Ancient oaks and elms surrounded the mansion, their branches whispering secrets of ages gone by, rustling a symphony with every gust of wind. To the rear of the house, a vast lake sprawled. Its tranquil waters mirrored the sky, with clouds drifting lazily across its reflective surface, seemingly caressing the edges of the stately home. A variety of flowers adorned the gardens. Bright tulips and delicate roses bloomed in harmony, creating a vibrant tapestry of colors, each petal telling tales of seasons that had come and gone. Meandering paths wound their way through the gardens, each one inviting a leisurely stroll, promising discovery and delight with every step. The air was filled with the scent of fresh blooms, mixed with the earthy aroma that speaks of nature's enduring embrace. The beauty of Pemberley was not just in its structures or gardens. It was in the soft chirping of the birds, the distant hum of bees, and the gentle dance of leaves. Every corner, every stone, and every blade of grass seemed to resonate with stories of love, loss, and redemption, while the estate showcased the grandeur of the Darcy lineage. It also subtly revealed the character of its master. The care, attention to detail, and sheer love poured into maintaining Pemberley were evident. It stood not just as a symbol of wealth, but as a testament to passion, commitment, and an enduring love for all things beautiful. In its majesty, Pemberley offered a lesson. True beauty lies not just in what meets the eye, but in the stories, emotions, and memories that a place holds within its walls. And as Elizabeth wandered its grounds, one could sense a burgeoning realization of the depths and layers of the man who called this place home. The housekeeper of the great Pemberley, Mrs. Reynolds, had served the Darcy family for many years. She knew the young Master Darcy since he was but a child, and had watched him grow into the man he is today. Mrs. Reynolds was a kind and warm-hearted woman, deeply loyal to the Darcy family. Her account of Darcy painted a very different picture than the haughty man Elizabeth had come to judge. According to Mrs. Reynolds, Mr. Darcy was not only a generous master, but also a kind-hearted gentleman who always thought of others before himself. She shared tales of his benevolence, how he cared for the people on the estate, ensuring they were well treated and comfortable. Stories flowed of Darcy's assistance to families in need, offering aid without seeking acknowledgement or praise. It was a stark contrast to the image painted by Mr. Wickham, who had swayed Elizabeth's opinion with his misleading tales. She spoke of how Darcy was adored by all in the household, not because of his wealth or status, but due to his genuine compassion and integrity. One memorable instance was of a cold winter. Darcy, without hesitation, offered them provisions and warmth, ensuring they would not suffer the season's harshness. Another tale described how he had personally tutored a young boy on the estate, guiding him through his studies, instilling in him a love for learning. Elizabeth listened, absorbing every word, every story that spoke of Darcy's true character. It was a moment of revelation where the walls of prejudice began to crumble, giving way to the understanding of a man deeply misunderstood. This newfound knowledge created a whirlwind of emotions in Elizabeth, prompting her to re-evaluate her earlier judgment. It became evident that Darcy was not the man she thought he was, but rather a man of depth, kindness, and profound humanity. The intricacies of his character were laid bare, not through his own words, but through the heartfelt accounts of those who knew him best. And as Elizabeth stood in the grand halls of Pemberley, surrounded by the echoes of stories that painted a true portrait of Mr. Darcy, she realized that understanding someone requires looking beyond the surface, delving into the depths of their soul, and appreciating the stories that have shaped them. Lambton, a charming little village, lies nestled in the heart of the English countryside. Its cobbled streets and aged, old stone houses are a testament to the passage of time, revealing tales of generations past. Each brick and stone seems to whisper secrets of love stories and the echoes of laughter. Close to Pemberley, Lambton became Elizabeth Bennet's temporary abode. The warm summer sun bathed the village in a golden hue. Earlier impressions of Mr. Darcy, constructed in the ballrooms and parlours of Meryton, were starting to waver. Their accidental meetings in the vicinity of Pemberley introduced her to a different side of the man she had hastily judged. Gone was the haughty gentleman who once slighted her. Instead, standing before her was a man of genuine concern and warmth. Darcy, too, was undergoing a transformation. The once proud man was evolving. The beautiful landscapes of Lambton and the allure of Pemberley worked their magic, softening hearts and erasing past misunderstanding through shared walks and chance conversations. Elizabeth and Darcy began to truly understand each other. They listened, they learned, and they grew, inching closer to a profound realization of their feelings. For love, as they were soon to discover, is not just about first impression. It's about understanding, growing, and rediscovering oneself and the other. Lydia Bennet was known for her impulsiveness, often guided by her whims and immediate desires. Such an unchecked nature would eventually lead her down a perilous path. Amidst the tranquil setting of Meryton and the growing romances between other characters, Lydia's actions would cast a heavy cloud over the Bennet family. Without forethought or comprehension of the consequences, she found herself in the throes of a reckless elopement with Mr. Wickham. This union was not one born out of profound love or mutual respect, but rather out of fleeting passion and impulsive decisions. Elopements, especially in that period, weren't merely romantic escapades. They were a matter of family honor, of reputation, which once tarnished could have lasting repercussions. For the Bennet family, the news of Lydia's elopement wasn't just shocking. It was a potential ruination for the entire family. News travels fast, especially in smaller communities like Meryton, Whispers and gossip ran rampant, as society was quick to judge, often with little sympathy for those involved. Elizabeth, the ever witty and discerning sister, felt a weight of responsibility and profound sadness. In her heart, she had always hoped that Lydia would eventually mature and see beyond the fleeting thrills of the moment. But with this act, Elizabeth grappled with a maelstrom: disappointment in Lydia, concern for her family's standing, and personal heartache, knowing that such scandal could affect her budding relationship with Mr. Darcy. It was a stark reminder that life, no matter how planned or anticipated, is often punctuated by unforeseen challenges. Yet these challenges also illuminate the strength of familial bonds and the depth of true character as each member reacts, copes, and ultimately seeks solutions. Of Lydia Bennet's elopement with the dubious Mr. Wickham sent shockwaves through the tight-knit community. For the Bennett family, it was more than just scandal. It was potential ruin, a tarnish on the family name that could have repercussions for years. Amidst the whispers and the wagging tongues, there was one man who, unbeknownst to many, was determined to rectify the situation. Mr. Darcy, the man with a reputation for cold pride, took it upon himself to shoulder the responsibility of locating the wayward couple in the dimly lit streets of London. Far from the eyes of Meryton, Darcy diligently pursued every lead, every hint of Wickham's whereabouts. His motivation was layered. Yes, there was guilt for not exposing Wickham's true nature to the world earlier, but deeper still, a burgeoning affection for Elizabeth Bennet drove him forward. Each step he took in the crowded byways of London was a testament to his evolving character. Gone was the prideful man who once scorned lesser families. In his place stood a man resolute in his mission, not for accolades or pride, but out of love and a desire to protect. His tireless efforts eventually bore fruit. Finding Lydia and Wickham was just the start. Ensuring their marriage and settling Wickham's debts required not just money, but a profound understanding of human nature and tactful negotiation. Darcy's actions, though done in secret, were a testament to his transformation. The profound impact of love and realization had reshaped him, turning once perceived flaws into strengths. In this intricate dance of responsibility and redemption, Darcy showcased that love, when genuine, compels one to act beyond self, to rectify, to protect, and to uplift. The picturesque village of Meryton was no stranger to whispers and rumors, but today they held a melody of happiness. Charles Bingley, with his amiable nature and cheerful disposition, had long been the subject of many admiring glances, but none held his attention quite like the eldest Bennet's sister, Jane. Jane Bennet, with her serene beauty and gentle nature, was like the morning sun, warm, gentle, and loved by all. Her soft blue eyes often held a dreamy, far-off look, as if she was privy to a secret world of her own. For weeks, the two had danced around each other, much like two stars orbiting in space, drawn by an unseen force. Every stolen glance, every accidental brush of their hands, sent ripples through the very fabric of Meryton's society. The Longbourn estate was buzzing with anticipation that day. Fresh roses bloomed in the gardens, their petals kissed by the early morning dew. The chirping of birds seemed more melodious, the air filled with an unsaid excitement. Inside, in the elegantly adorned drawing-room, Mr. Bingley stood, his heart racing faster than it ever had. In his hand he held a small, delicate box, inside of which lay a token of his affection. Jane entered the room, her golden hair reflecting the sunlight that streamed through the large windows. A soft blush adorned her cheeks, making her look like the very roses that bloomed outside. With a deep breath, Bingley stepped forward. His voice, usually so full of confidence, wavered slightly as he spoke of his admiration, his respect, and his deep, unwavering love for Jane. He spoke of dreams they could weave together, of mornings they could greet as one, and of a life filled with shared joys and sorrows. And as he went down on one knee, presenting the token of his love, the world seemed to stand still. The weight of the moment, the sheer enormity of their feelings, held them both captive. Jane's response, though soft, carried the weight of 1,000 emotions. It was a culmination of every stolen glance, every whispered word, and every hope. Together they stood at the precipice of a new chapter in their lives, a chapter filled with the promise of shared tomorrows and whispered "I love yous" in the dead of the night. In the annals of Meryton's history, many tales of love would be written, but the story of Jane Bennet and Charles Bingley would always hold a special place, for it was a tale of two hearts finding their way to each other against all odds. The moors stretched out expansively, with wild grasses swaying gently in the cool breeze. Each blade of grass seemed to shimmer here, away from the confines of drawing rooms and societal constraints. Nature was the sole witness to the most intimate of human emotions. The days are growing shorter, and autumn's golden hues drape the English countryside. Elizabeth, having experienced a roller coaster of emotions in the past months, finds herself amid yet another unexpected situation. A carriage approaches the Bennet household, its insignia unmistakably of Lady Catherine, with an air of dominance and clear intent. She makes her way towards Elizabeth. Lady Catherine, possessing an imperious demeanour and an inquiring eye, wastes no time in addressing the rumours that have reached her ears. She's heard whispers of a potential engagement between Elizabeth and her nephew, Mr. Darcy. Her belief in the supremacy of class and rank in society makes her wary of such a union. For Lady Catherine, this proposed match is unthinkable, going against the plans she had envisioned for her own daughter. Elizabeth, ever the epitome of grace and assertiveness, faces Lady Catherine's probing with quiet resilience. She neither confirms nor denies the rumours, firmly believing in her right to keep her personal matters private. However, Lady Catherine is relentless, pressing further, seeking confirmation or denial. There is a palpable tension, a contrast between Lady Catherine's haughty entitlement and Elizabeth's dignified silence. It's a powerful moment, highlighting society's obsession with class and status, and the audacity with which some believe they have a say in others' personal affairs. Yet, in this confrontation, Elizabeth stands tall, a beacon of self-assurance and integrity. She represents the journey many undertake, learning to stand firm in their truth, regardless of societal pressures or expectations. The lesson here is clear. There is power in self-awareness, in understanding one's worth, and in not letting the world dictate one's narrative. And while the world may often push and prod, trying to mold us into its desired shape, it's our journey of self-discovery and love that truly defines our path. Mr. Darcy stood, a silhouette against the glowing horizon, the weight of his feelings evident in his posture. The serenity of the moors contrasted sharply with the turmoil in his heart, but it provided the perfect backdrop for a confession that had been long in the making. Elizabeth, with her keen eyes and sharp wit, had seen through the facade he had unknowingly built around himself. He had been prideful and misunderstood, but now he felt a vulnerability he hadn't before. Turning to face Elizabeth, his gaze met hers, a silent acknowledgement passing between them. His voice, deep and filled with emotion, broke the silence. "Miss Elizabeth, I realize my first proposal was far from perfect. I let my pride cloud my judgment and my words, but standing here amidst the vastness of these moors, I am reminded of the vastness of my feelings for you. It's not just admiration, nor is it mere attraction. You have challenged me, made me reflect upon myself, and have awakened feelings I never knew I possessed. He took a step closer, the raw intensity of his emotions palpable. I love you for who you are and for the person you've helped me become. Elizabeth, ever articulate, was momentarily at a loss for words. The sincerity of his confession rendering her speechless. The two stood there, the world fading away with only the moors, the setting sun, and their shared realization. Love had found its way, not in grand ballrooms or amidst whispered rumors, but on a quiet moor where two souls truly saw each other. The journey of Elizabeth Bennet and Fitzwilliam Darcy stands as a testament to the winding paths of human understanding. Darcy, initially seen through the lens of pride or an exterior that masked the depth of his character. Elizabeth, with her wit and vivacity, was not immune to the pitfalls of prejudice. She allowed first impressions to paint her perception, yet as time unfolded, so did the layers of their personalities. Mistaken judgments, though firmly held, can be revisited and rectified through shared experiences, revelations, and introspection. The pair found clarity. Darcy's pride was not without cause, and Elizabeth's judgments were not without flaw. The dance of their relationship, with its missteps and harmonies, mirrors the dance of our own personal growth, in love as in life. Understanding is a continuous journey. There are no destinations, only waypoints where we reassess and rediscover. Darcy and Elizabeth's journey from mutual skepticism to deep admiration is a powerful narrative of growth. It reminds us that every person has depths worth exploring. The transformative power of love, it transcends misunderstandings and preconceptions. For in the act of loving, we often find our truest selves, and in the process embark on the most profound journey, that of self-discovery. In their story, we are gently reminded to remain, fall, and to evolve, and to always seek understanding. Let your mind drift to the vast and serene landscapes of Pemberley. Imagine the tall, proud trees, their leaves rustling in a soft wind, standing as ancient witnesses to countless stories. Picture the shimmering waters of the pond, undisturbed, capturing the very essence of the grand mansion. Feel the cool breeze on your face. Hear the distant chirping of the birds, and the gentle flow of water. Envision yourself walking alongside these waters, each step taking you deeper into calmness. In this tranquil setting, imagine the silhouettes of Darcy and Elizabeth, their journey, symbolic of self-discovery and the dance of love. Each step they take is a step towards understanding. As they walk hand in hand, they find strength in vulnerability and love in truth. Let their journey remind you of the beauty of self-discovery and power of genuine connection. Feel the peace that Pemberley offers, its timeless elegance inviting you to find comfort in its embrace. Allow yourself to be lulled by the serenity around, letting go of the world and drifting into a peaceful slumber. Good night, dear voyagers. Have a restful sleep.